Hello, so today we are going to do this Leetcode problem, day 14 of Leetcode 30-day challenge. So the problem is perform string shift, and the problem says we get a string S and that contains some lowercase letters in the matrix shift, where shift I contains the direction and the amount of the shift. So the direction can be 0 for left shift or 1 if we want to do a right shift. And the amount is the amount by which S is shifted, the string S. A left shift by 1 means remove the first character of S and append it to the end. So a left shift by 1, when we left shift by 1, it means we remove the first character and append it to the end. Yeah. And then a right shift means we remove the last character and append it to the beginning. And we'll return the final string after all the operations in the shift matrix here. So let's say, for example, we have ABC here, and we want to shift left by 1, and then shift right by 2. And so shifting left by 1 means taking one letter from the, removing one letter from the beginning and appending it to the end. So here we remove A and append it to the end. Right shift by 2 means we remove the two last characters and append them to the end. So the two last characters are C and A, and append them, to the beginning. And that's what we are doing here. And it's only lowercase English letters, so we have a pretty limited set, 26 characters, I think. Characters, and then the length is less than or equal to 1. Okay, so at most we will shift by 100 by the entire length of the string. So the first idea, well, we could just do some kind of brute force, right? And just see what we get, right? So let's try that. Let's try that first and then see where we go, if we can improve it. So we want to shift. So we have a matrix shift here, and so we want to do every row, and then we get the direction, and then amount in row. So maybe we could just do that here. Yep. Okay. So now that we get that, we want to apply it, right? So when I say S is going to be equal to, so depending on the direction, so if direction is equal to 0, then we do something else, we'll do something else. So this is shifting left, which means remove from beginning and add to end. And this else here, this is right, and so this is remove from end and add to beginning, right? Okay, so to shift from the left here, well, we could just say S is, now we wanna let's see here. Let's take the terminal and just experiment with this. So we have the terminal here. Let me just open up Python. And so what we want to do is we want to have S. Let's take the first example here. And so we want to shift by 1. So what is S1 here? So, and then that's the BC there, and then we want to append 0, right? So we could do something like this. And this gives us what we want. But what is 1? So that would be, so let's say shift or amount would be 1. And so what we want to do is amount like this, right? And then we want to do something maybe like this, right? So that we can limit it. So that if it's, let's say, 2, if amount is 2, this would be AB, and this here would be just C, right? So that's correct. So what we want to do is S amount, right? So plus that. And to remove from the right, it's probably just similar, right? Okay, so let's take first the string that we got as a result, right? So now our S would be equal to this. Sorry. And then after that, what we want is we want to take shift by 2, right? So amount is equal to 2, but right now we are shifting to the right. So shifting to the right, what if we did just the reverse here? So we want to remove from the end and take from the beginning. So S is this. So we want to remove. So we had this here. So we want to remove 2 from the end. So we want CA and then beginning. So 2 from the end. To get that, we want CA basically. So 2 from the end. So that would mean something like this. No. So kind of what we want is the length of S. So we want the amount is 2, but we want to start from the end. So we want minus, right? So let's try minus. Yep. So we want minus that. And then what about the B? The last character, like the basically we want to add from. So we just want to remove from the end. So we already got the end here. And we want the beginning that stops at this guy. So that's yep, that S minus amount. Okay, so that means that what we want is this plus this, which will give us what we want, which is CAB. And then at the end, we want to return S. Okay, let's take another example here. Let's take this one. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's try to submit. Okay, so that passes. Yeah, so pretty straightforward, just applying what the problem says. If we take a look, yep, so yeah, just go through the shift information and just apply it on the string, pretty much. Yeah. So one thing we can improve this by here is I'm just like, so let's say we had to go left by 1 and then we got to go right also by 1. So it will be kind of the same, the string will go back to being the same. So actually we can, instead of doing the modification just 1, but before that just keep track of the offset, just calculate the offset using the for loop and then apply it once. So what I mean by that is just, let's have offset here equal to 0, right? And then we'll use this later, which is just the length of the string. And now, instead of applying to the string right away, let me just put this down here for a moment. We will we will just apply it on the offset. So for the offset here, we want to add the amount if we are going to go left. That's what we did with, you can see here, so amount, and on the right, subtract, because we want to remove from the end. So subtract the amount, subtract it from offset. And with that, we can just apply it once here. So this would be offset, and this here would be offset. And so since we did minus here, it would be for right as if we did minus amount here and minus amount here, which is the same as what we did before. There's just only one thing we need to handle is, let's say the string length is 3 and we got an offset of 6, right? So it doesn't make sense to do it twice, right? We will get the same result. It's enough to do it just once, right? So for that, we just do offset is equal to offset modulo n, just to avoid like doing useless work, right? So this will optimize a little bit more. And so now our algorithm here is just O of n in terms of this, such that O of n is n here is the number of elements in the shift matrix, right? So that would be n by m if we that would be like a number of rows by the number of columns. And we are creating a new string here, so that also counts. It will be at most the length of the string. That counts in terms of space here, and that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this problem.